What's up? This is Bacon is my podcast. I'm Jimmy.
I am Mike.
And we are proud to be part of the Deluxe Edition network. That is right, the Den.
That's right, hashtag the Den. We are part of an awesome network with a number of fantastic podcasts, such as History I'd Like to Fuck, or HILF Podcast, Barrel Age Chicks, Barrel Age Flicks, Spoil My Movie, Deluxe Edition Podcast. Man, I could go on forever.
You could, but we won't, so you can go
Beard
watch.
Laws.
Go listen, go watch, check them all out now.
In a
Deluxe
pickle.
Edition Network.
Right now, deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Follow it on social medias, Deluxe Edition Network.
What's your bacon? What's up, buddy?
Ew. I know it's cold.
Indeed.
So you want to get the sweaters going.
No. I reject that. And I'll tell you why.
Why would you do that?
Well, you don't put gloves on furry hands, do you?
Well, no.
No, you don't. So you know what? I like to keep my beanbag clean like my palms.
Yes.
That's right.
The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is out now. It's got the skin-safe technology you used to. It's got the LED light like you used to. But this one, it's got the foil blade.
Oh my god, the foil blade. It's nice for the crevasse.
Exactly. So it, hooks up your nether regions.
Goes right up the Mississippi on the one side and the Rio Grande on the other side.
Exactly. So go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BACONPOD for 20% off, plus free shipping.
Yeah, indeed.
And it's not even just for this, right?
No, it's for anything on there.
Exactly, especially
our favorite,
the crop mops, the ball and butt wipes. If you see us, we always give them out.
We'll hand them to you.
Exactly.
They'll be in the package, it's okay.
If you don't see us, manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off of those bad boys.
Free shipping.
And always remember to ask yourself,
what's your bacon?
We had chicken wing Cheetos.
Nice.
They're not very good.
They were Japanese. They're not very good.
They were not good.
They were not good. Yeah. Can't recommend them.
Yeah.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
I am excited for the end of the month for Capulet Fest because we did it last year, and this gentleman, Estevan here, was gracious enough to give our silly little podcast a nice little spot in the merch village, if you will, and was just kind of like, yeah, just set up a tent, go do what you do, and I was like, well,
and I will say. We had the party tent.
We did.
We had the party tent all weekend.
Every time we walked by, we definitely saw people there. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was fun, man.
So I am super excited to have Estevan on to talk a little bit more about Capulet Fest and talk a little bit about being a promoter. And actually, yesterday you did a post that I can absolutely relate to regarding promotion and working with these companies that are like scene oriented and just not really there for the scene. But dude, Estevan, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. We're excited to have you guys back. It's going to be another awesome year. So yeah, we're stoked, man.
Capulet Fest happening in Thompson, Connecticut, the 28th, June 28th through the 30th. 3 days this time.
Yeah.
It's double the hotel rooms, but it's okay.
We'll be there all 3 days.
We're going to be there all 3 days.
Come say hi, come talk to us.
The lineup is stacked.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
crazy
it was stacked. And what I want to ask you first about, and so for those of you who want to know, Skillet, Nothing More, Lacey Strum, just like
so many, dude.
August Burns Sonia, August Burns Red, Gideon, 10 years. Dude, I was so stoked when I saw 10 years. I was like, dude, 10 years is still doing it too.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, what I loved was when you first started trickling out the lineup and you were doing these things on social media. And I could tell that what you guys were doing was helping your social media game, and your presence just grow exponentially with these clues and these hints and stuff like that. and you did it for all 55 bands.
Yeah, it was nuts.
What?
Yeah, what went into that?
Yeah, like what went into all that? What, like, did you come up with that stuff all on your own, or like how did that all play out, dude?
So I was trying to think of a way to engage the social media fans that we had and to try to get new ones interested in the festival, right? And it started out, so last year when we did the announcements, I was just doing, I want to say we did like an announcement every single day, and I think it was only one band per day. And it probably lasted about the same amount of time, about a month. And then we didn't always announce on the weekends, but we would do like Monday through Friday, and I think sometimes I would throw it a Saturday one. And that would get interest, and that would get, you know, traction, and some people would comment. But I wanted more interaction with the people. You know what I mean? I wanted people talking about the fest. I wanted to interact with them. I wanted to be funny and joke around with the people who are going to be coming out. And so honestly, it started out with me just giving, like, I think our first announce was 3 bands, and I gave like 3 subtle clues as to who was going to be being announced. And then I don't know, a lot of people were guessing as to who it was, and I was probably a little bit more obvious for those first couple. And then I'm like, okay, there was a lot of interest here. Let's like try to do this with all of the bands. And so I started having a lot of fun just thinking about creative ways to confuse people.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Dude, that's the best, right?
and kind of like direct them, but like mislead them a little bit, but give them a little bit over here, but introduce a clue that maybe could give them 3 possible bands that they could be choosing from. And a couple of the clues were like, hey, this band's from Texas, this band's from here. You know, sometimes I would do a clue based on a song title, sometimes I would do like an album title, sometimes I would do a clue based on the band themselves. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was something, like I said, that kind of started out accidental. I was just trying to experiment with what might work. And a lot of people were having fun with it. And then they became, you know, really expecting the next clue.
Right. Yeah.
And then people were like, people would message me like, okay, I'm ready for the next clue. Let's go. Okay.
Right, like,
how about one more clue?
now I got to do this.
Yeah. And then I had one girl message me on Instagram. She's like, thank you so much for these clues. My boyfriend is like obsessed now. So
Nice.
So that, you know, hearing that is pretty cool. Just being able to interact with the fan base and get them as excited as we are, you know.
Now, as people who have had to come up with 7 questions or things to try and like be engaging, what of your clues was your most kind of like proud of one? I know you got one. You got to have one where you're like, that was good. That was a solid one. That was good.
Yeah. So I love movies, as I've told you guys. So I loved the Spider-Man one, the Spider-Man kiss, because first of all, okay, I love the original Spider-Man. I love that scene, and I think that kiss is so iconic, not just in superhero movies but in film. It's a great scene. So that was one we used for Makeout. You know, the band Makeout.
Yeah.
So I really had a fun time with that. I also enjoyed doing. So there was one, I think it was for a band that actually dropped the festival, but for Colorblind, I did Daredevil because he's blind.
Oh yeah,
nice. Yeah.
And someone guessed Senses Fail, but it was before.
Oh, good guess.
But it was before we had that's a great guess.
Yeah.
But it was before we had announced Senses Fail.
Right.
And so when Senses Fail came out, I had to come up with a different clue, which I honestly don't even remember what that clue was. But
you're like, damn it, I should have used Daredevil for that.
Well, right. And that's what was getting
drops, then you're like, damn.
Right.
Well, that's what was getting so hard, is because I had 55 bands to do. I was like running out of ways to be inventive. I'm like, crap, man. And a lot of times I would give usually 2 clues, sometimes 3 clues for each band. And dude, so you're talking, if I'm doing an announcement for, 3 bands that day, that's up to 9 clues, right? So 3 per band. And so it was getting challenging. So if
you can't repeat,
so I did over 100 clues, like, and that was getting, it was getting harder and harder for me to do them. You know?
Yeah.
That's great.
Now this year, like, what, last year was massive. Last year you had Amberlin, you had Emery, you had Memphis May, All That Remains, like, all these crazy bands. What, like, for both last year and this year, which bands did you get officially on the bill and go, damn, I just got these guys on a bill. Right. Which bands like really like hit that nerve for you where you're like, I can't believe I did this?
For me personally, it was Memphis Mayfire, Amberlin, and Norma Jean and Emery probably.
Okay.
I mean, All That Remains was amazing too. I'm not trying to discredit them at all.
Sure. Of course. No, we're not.
No, it's not about one being better than the other.
It was one of those things where, obviously we had, there's so many good bands. For the Fallen Dreams and Crown the Empire was a cool add-on last minute.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So I was stoked about the whole lineup. Okay, it's so hard when you have so many bands that you love.
Sure.
Which one do you love the most? It's like, all of them. You know what I mean? They're all awesome. But I would say that. So I would say those for a few reasons, right? And I would say those span 13 years of my life. I would say, well, beyond that 13 years, but because I've been a fan since like high school for a lot of these bands. But beyond that 13 year, is like how long I've been trying to like work with them. So that's where it becomes a big thing for me, right? Yeah. So like some people know this, some people don't. I also write books, and I wrote a book called Arson that spawned a series. And originally, I got the original title was A Boy Called Arson, and I got that title and that character created in 2006. I was visiting colleges, and I started writing this character about a kid this story about a kid who can create fire, and his name was Arson. And I came up with the title for that from listening to Amberlin's song "Glass to the Arson," and I even included some lyrics from Amberlin in the book. Some people may know that, some people may not. And also, the title of the book, the original title, which we didn't go with, but the original title was A Boy Called Arson. And they have a song, Glass to the Arson, and Under Oath has a song called A Boy Brushed Red, Living in Black and White. And I kind of like, I'm a huge fan of both of them, and I kind of merged the titles. Obviously this was the first draft of the title, but once we decided to go with a series, I shortened it to just Arson. But so for me, booking Amberlin, when Arson came out, I wanted to do a release concert for the book. And I actually was talking to Steven from Amberlin about doing that, but I didn't have enough money to bring them in, and they were on the huge come up,
the upswing,
right. And it just wasn't possible in 2010 for me to do it. But it was something that I had always wanted to do, and so when I got to finally book them, and then now that they're with Maddie, it's like, man, I'm glad I did, because I don't know if Steven will come back. I'm sure he will at some point, but like the original lineup to actually say, hey, the original lineup played my festival.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was a sick moment of full circle, right? In addition to that, Emery playing was also a full circle moment for a few reasons. One, because they were going to headline year one of Capulet Fest, but it didn't work out. Also, there's a character in my book named Emery who was named after the band. In the same book, right? And when I was writing that character, I always in the back of my head, I always said, if I have a daughter one day, I will name her Emery, right? And so now I have a daughter named Emery, and so that's another full circle moment, right? And so that's why those two were such a big impact for me being at the festival. And then Memphis Mayfire was supposed to headline also the year before, and that didn't work out. So I've been a fan of them for a long time. So I was super, super excited when they got to say yes. And then Norma Jean, again, huge fan since high school. And just being able to have them on the lineup, dream come true for sure.
It's really cool. What I love about, having this conversation is, like we have a lot of musicians listen to this show and stuff like that, and you are a promoter, and like, you know, people kind of like as promoters and stuff like that, the bands that aren't doing the work generally like badmouth promoters and stuff.
Sure.
And it's like the people that we talk to, the promoters that we talk to, it's like dude, first off, it's a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all you have to do is just like realize that he's a music fan just like me, just like you, just like the other person. And I love seeing that that side of you come out like this music fan.
That's what it should be.
That's
what it should
at the end of the day, that's what it all is. Like,
yeah,
we're all music fans.
We're all in the same business of working way too many hours and doing way too many extra things and figuring out how to do every other job other than the job that we actually want to do, so that for one night or one day or 3 days, we can do something awesome.
Yeah.
You know, or in our case, for 45 minutes, right? Or, you know, you could do something great. And that's, you know, we're all in that same business of doing that.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. Sometimes it's easy to kind of forget that.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose that. And I think bands sometimes forget that, like, if you have a promoter that's like on your side and has your back and is a fan of you, like, that is one of the greatest partnerships you can create.
It's invaluable.
But it's a partnership.
Right.
And it has to be a partnership, which means that, hey, guess what? You have to do your half.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't just be like, get me shows. Why am I not getting paid? Why am I not getting this?
Right.
And it's like, how many shows have you booked yourself where you've gotten any of the things that you asked for?
Right.
I'll tell you right now, none.
Right.
Welcome to Sorta Kinda Funny. We're a comedy podcast
Brother and sister duo.
where we take your guys' embarrassing moments and stories and turn them into humor, because life's about laughing at yourself, and we are sure gonna laugh at ourselves. I am James. I am your main Mac Daddy host, and I'm also joined by a loser. Go ahead and introduce yourself, loser. Go ahead. Don't be shy.
This is Lauren.
Give it to them.
Absolutely.
Baby.
Absolutely. What did you just say?
Also, we sing a lot, so if you haven't listened to this first episode, I'm sorry.
We have new episodes available every Thursday and would love nothing more than to hang out with you. Does that sound too desperate?
Yes.
Okay. Check us out wherever you listen to your podcasts, and we'll see you on Thursday. And as always,
Text me if you want to hang out.
bye.
Hey, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me.
I don't think you're the problem. You know what the problem is? Nobody knows where to find us online. That's the problem.
Well,
They're
I
like,
think there's...
sometimes I go to YouTube. Sometimes I want to go to Spotify. Sometimes, how do I know where I can find everything bacon?
You know what there is? There's one place that has everything, all-encompassing. It's baconismypodcast.com.
A solution!
Exactly! You ever want to listen to our music?
Yeah.
Or know where to find us on YouTube?
Yeah.
Or on Apple Music?
Yeah.
Spotify?
Yes.
Maybe grab some shirts?
Check
Find
out
some-
sponsor.
Find some sweet deals on some sodas from drinkwildbills.com, or maybe some beard product from Mythical Beards.
Maybe you want to pick up a Poddex.
Use the promo code BACON on all of those websites and get 10% off. But if you can't remember that, just go to baconismypodcast.com, hit sponsors. You're right there.
Yeah.
Tells you everything.
Find everything about us. Leave us a comment. Ask us a question. And always remember to ask yourselves every single day,
What's your bacon?
what's your bacon?
Right?
It's
So if you
work,
work
man.
with somebody and you get some of what you asked for, man, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you have to put this all together? No. Awesome.
Right.
Thank your promoters. Work with your promoters.
Yes.
Appreciate your promoters. Work
It's like
hard
a
with them.
midnight. It's like a midnight sandwich, man. You know, you can you're in your bedroom watching a movie, and you're like, "Hey, babe, is it possible? Maybe for me to get a
Right.
sandwich with bacon."
Yes.
And then when she says no, get up and get it yourself. You're like, oh, I guess I am the promoter. So I got it. I got you. but it's,
all right, I'll get it.
It's awesome when someone else makes the sandwich because you're like, it tastes a little sweeter knowing I didn't have to make it.
It does, right? It's so much better. And
see, there I go again with my bad analogies. Sometimes they track, and sometimes I just get lost.
No, this is
a good one. I like this one.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this one.
Oh, it's like the restaurant I went to in Chicago. No, it wasn't Chicago. It was outside Chicago.
Okay.
Show up. They were like, "Oh, this is a great steakhouse." I'm like, "Sweet, that sounds great." Let's go. I sit down and I look behind me, and there's giant, like a 20-foot grill. I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like, you pick the steak out.
That's where you cook your steak.
And you cook your steak. I'm like, what? No, that's not.
Hey, you know what I never did? Culinary school.
I mean, I could cook a steak.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't want to.
But I'm here with work people. I don't.
Sure. I'd be like, okay, now point me in the direction of where the clock is for me to punch in my ticket so I can get down the payroll for making this medium rare awesome steak. So another side note, what you were saying about like being a music fan, right? So like I am a music fan kind of before the business guy. I actually would prefer to just be the music fan. The business side of it kind of sucks a lot of the time. And I wish I could just be the guy who just shows up and has a good time and is in the crowd and in the mosh pit and gets to sing along with the chorus and try to get to the front to smack the lead singer's hand or whatever. Like I much prefer that role to the business side of things, but the business side is just the reality of it. But like I can remember ordering or pre-ordering the Cities album from Amber Lynn when I was in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I remember when it came. I want to say it came in a day or two early. And dude, I'm the guy that like back when physical CDs were a big thing, right? They still exist, but when they were like the thing, I feel like in the other guys when it's like, hey, I'm so-and-so online, I feel like that paradigm has kind of shifted. It's like, hey, I'm so-and-so physical.
Right. Yeah.
But I still love the physical media, right? And so I was the guy that would order it, whatever the bundle is with the merch and the CD and the signed and all that stuff. That was me. And then I would my dad was super cool in high school. He got me a Bose surround system for my bedroom, the 5.1 with the sub. I had
those are sick.
TV and all that stuff. So my TV was way undersized for how awesome the sound was. I only had a 15-inch, which looking back, you're like, how did I even see that from my bed? I couldn't even, but the sound sounded amazing. It sounded amazing. I couldn't see what the hell I was watching, but the sound was phenomenal. But yeah, so my dad was awesome. He hooked up that whole thing while I was at school. And my mom later told me, she's like, your father was saying every curse word in the book because he was having to fish all those wires through the attic into your room for hours on his day off. And I was like, so my dad was the best. But so
I was what it's like to be a promoter too.
Yeah, for sure. So I popped that CD in, and I was there with the booklet, reading the lyrics and giving it the first playthrough, right? And sometimes I'd listen to a whole record twice, like the first time, just chill in my room for like an hour and a half. No one would bother me. And like I was in my zone, I was in my happy place, just like, this is the first time I'm hearing this record for the first time. And like, those records meant something to me, and they still do almost 20 years later, and then another funny story about Norma Jean. I originally was not a Norma Jean fan. A buddy of mine, I think he told me about them or he burned me. So in high school, we had a lot of CD burns, right? My buddy would burn a lot of CDs from LimeWire and Napster and all that. And he'd be like, yo, check out this band. They're sick. So I'm pretty sure I heard it from him. And at first I was like, not for me. And this is just as I was beginning to like explore heavier music, right? And
that's not like that's heavy. That's not like right. Dip your toe into this. This is like head first.
So some of the bands that I got into before Norma Jean was like there was a band called Showbread that I really liked, 12 Stones, Under Oath. A lot of the bands that were they were like they were heavy, but like they had a lot of singing and a lot of melodic parts.
Right.
And so like the melodic stuff would get me in the door. That was the gateway drug. And then I would tolerate the heavy screaming. And then it got to the point. And then, and then it got to the point where like I was like obsessed with the screaming, and my parents were like worried about me. You know?
Yeah. I remember that shift when I started doing that too, and my parents were like, "Are you okay?" And it's like,
definitely,
no, this is great. Right. This is good.
Yeah, I got that question. I got that question regularly, right? I remember I was at Best Buy, and my dad, I was buying a Demon Hunter album, and it was the triptych, and a lot of their albums are dark for sure, the covers, you know, and he turns it over, and I think it was the lead singer Ryan Clark, like on like a throne of with the head of some animal behind him, and it was just like this badass like, ugh. And my dad's like, "Is this okay? Are you okay, son? Like, this is intense." I'm like, "It's okay, Pop. It's okay. It's okay. Their lyrics are meaningful, and they take me to a happier place. It's all good."
Yeah,
he definitely didn't get it. It was a transition for high school for me for sure. But so back to Norma Jean. So I was not originally a fan of theirs, right? And I remember there was the one music video, Blueprints for Future Homes, that I saw a couple times, and I'm like, yeah, this is okay. I guess I could see why people like it. But like the chorus of that song kept getting stuck in my head, even though I had only seen it a couple times, and I kept humming it like when I wasn't listening to music. And I'm like, why am I liking this song? It's too heavy for me. I don't like it, right? And then my buddy gave me the CD, the Redeemer CD, which is why that album still is like my go-to Norma Jean album. Like that's old school Norma Jean, like through and through. Everything about that album, I'm all about that. Which they played, I think, The End of All Things, and they played Blueprints at the festival, which was sick seeing that live at my festival when like that was the album that got me hooked on them, you know.
Oh, that is awesome, right?
Yeah, so I love that album. And then it became like my ultimate like workout album. It's like, let's break out the shotguns, we're going to town. Like it was just you know, Tonight the South is on Fire. And I just loved how like their use of repetitive screams, like, you know, tonight the South is on fire. I'm butchering it, but like, and then they repeat that, and it's just like, I feel like the Hulk, man. It's awesome. So
that's awesome. Full
circle, man. Everything comes full circle. So yeah, I'm a huge fan before a business guy. I love all this stuff.
I love it. You know, it's funny too. Like, so when we worked these festivals, like we did So What in 22. And we did Capulet in 23. We're doing Capulet again. And I'm already like, so I put out some requests and stuff, and then we're starting to get stuff trickle in. And the one thing that we said, like, about the festivals we go to, it's like, we don't get to see any of the bands.
Right.
That sucks. I think day one, I think we got like a 45-minute break, and you went and checked out, I think, Until I Wake,
yeah.
And then the only reason why I got to see Memphis May is because it's where my car was parked,
right?
and
we didn't get to see Amberlin, which I love Amberlin.
Yeah, we didn't get to see them.
We didn't get to see them.
But the car, where the car was parked, and then security was like, I was like, so how do I get to my spot?
Through.
And the security guy goes, just drive through this way. I'm like, there's a pit there's a Memphis May Fire is playing. There's a pit. And he's like, all right, we'll get you through. We'll make it safe. So I rolled my windows down. And that was the other thing. My wife was like, when Memphis May plays, can you do me a favor? Can you FaceTime me for like a couple of songs? I'm like, yeah, sure. No problem. So I FaceTime her. As I'm driving, she's like, why does it look like I'm looking through your car? I was like, because you're looking through my car.
Totally safe, babe. I'm starting the mosh pit with the car. It's going to get crazy.
Dude, CX9 in the pit.
It'll make it.
But I got to see Memphis May last. This year, I do hope we get to see somebody. Like, I hope we get to see somebody.
We'll have to tag in and out. You know?
And then the second day, we were moved in the inside.
Yeah.
So we were able to see.
So we can see a lot more from there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I think it's going to be an awesome show because
it's clearly going to be.
Yeah. Now, so for you, like in terms of like staging and setting the schedules and all that kind of stuff, how do you do that? How do you decide who's going where? I mean, there are some that you're like, yeah, this person has to go there, but like you got to have a headliner for the second stage, for the indoor stage, the smaller stage. So like, how do you go about deciding all that stuff? And have you ever? You don't have to drop names or anything like that, but have you ever actually dealt with egos that are like, I'm not playing on that stage?
I don't know that we've faced like I'm not playing on the stage so much as the time that they're playing, right? So that's come up. Like last year on Sunday, because of the scattered weather patterns, we had to make some adjustments to the schedule. Some of the bands didn't like that. And honestly, we did our best to like accommodate the bands to the best of my ability to give them the most ideal set time.
You mitigated that so well. And like the fact that, so for the like little backstory, so last year, Sunday, it was torrential downpour at the start of the day, and this poor guy was running around trying to figure out, okay, we're gonna try and put all the bands on one stage and maybe we could catch a break in the weather. And literally, if there was any break in the weather, they'd put a band on the outside. And I do remember that All That Remains was the last band that played outside.
Yep.
And then
and it was right before things got crazy with the weather.
Yeah.
It was they ended as the rain kind of started, I remember.
Yeah.
And it was wild. It was a wild time. It was really cool.
So they were supposed to end the night, right? And
yes,
and we wanted them to. That we approached them.
Sure.
But they already had their stuff set up on the outside stage from like 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning, something like that. They had an early load in. And it would have been a logistical nightmare to move all their stuff inside after they had just already set up outside.
Right.
We begged. We tried to make it happen. So I know there were a few fans who were upset that they didn't get to see them because they had to play earlier. But we literally ended, I want to say 7:30-ish, around there, like directly when the weather companies were saying like thunderstorm warning in Thompson. And we stretched that as long as humanly possible. And there were a couple bands made out. A couple bands had to switch to the outside stage who were supposed to play on the inside, like Kill the Imposter. They were one of the bands that made out better outside because they were supposed to be on the inside stage, but they got an outside stage performance, and it was perfectly good weather when they played.
Yeah.
So that was a switch that benefited them. So sometimes the switch benefited. I did the best to what was cool that I can say is that nobody got cut. So a lot of times in festivals, when there's bad weather, you just get cut, and that's just, it is what it is.
Right.
I didn't want to.
The people that get cut are usually your smaller, your up and comer, your bands that like really need that gig.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's their shot to be seen by more people and expand their fan base. So the fact that nobody got cut is awesome. I've been cut from things.
Tell me
due to circumstances out of my control before, and it's always like, ugh, damn it.
Yeah.
You can't get mad especially when it's weather and stuff. You just got to be like, okay, well, this sucks, but it is what it is.
I'm getting pretty excited because it's almost time to grill.
It's always time to grill. You know why?
I know.
Because I use grillyourassoff.com. All their stuff is fucking fantastic.
Well, I will say you don't even have to grill outside, even though you do all year round. I don't all year round, but I use all their stuff inside as well.
Yes, exactly.
So I still get the flavors.
Exactly. Everything from their seasoning to their sauces to their hot sauces. And you know what? They also provide delicious snacks.
They do. We actually tried some on the show. We got some cowboy-style beef jerky right here. Their jerky is really, really good.
It's really flavorful, really delicious. And you can have your own if you go to grillyourassoff.com,
Indeed.
if you go to grillyourassoff.com, use a promo code BACON, and you get 10% off your entire order.
Nice.
And not only will you be helping us out, but you'll be helping out veterans and first responders.
Yeah.
Because this company is veteran owned, and it's super badass, and we love these guys. Almost a day one sponsor with this show,
That's true.
and we are gonna support them forever. Super
Check out
cool
their
guys.
site. Check it out. Taste the freedom. If you don't know what you want to get, go ahead and use their product finder quiz.
Yes.
Set yourself up. Figure something out right now over at grillyourassoff.com.
And always remember to ask yourself,
What's your bacon?
what's your bacon?
Or what's on your bacon?
Bunker bacon bourbon barbecue sauce. That's what's up.
What's up, fam?
Yeah.
Bacon listeners? Ever wanted to help out the show? Ever wanted to know a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes here at Bacon?
Perhaps keep these glasses a little bit fuller.
Mine's empty.
Yeah. Go over to patreon.com/baconismypodcast, where you can get additional content, including tastings.
Yeah, you can get cooking shows.
You can get early ad-free shows.
That's right.
And at even the lowest tier, come participate with us every week in our discussion and drinks episode, where we hang out with you, our BIMP squad.
You're a part of the show. Join us, hang out, weigh in on everything that we're talking about, weigh in on everything, maybe be a part of the show.
Exactly.
It's happened.
Join the BIMP squad.
Yeah.
Get your first week for free over
right
at
now.
patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
What's your bacon?
Now,
You
what
know,
what
but
I'm
that's
actually
awesome that you didn't have to cut anybody. That's
We just
amazing.
rolled with it, dude. You know,
Yeah.
It was a very hectic couple hours that morning.
And it was a cool vibe.
No,
man.
you know what, though? It was-
I'll say
and we
for-
were all-
for being in there, man. It was a cool vibe. Everybody, like, I was really impressed. I don't know what it was like behind the scenes, but as far as like the people that we were interacting with, everybody had a good vibe, had a good attitude,
making it work.
and really we're just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna make it work. We're still gonna have fun. We're still gonna do our
We're
thing.
all helping everybody with their tents, bringing their
Yeah.
tables and stuff in.
so-
And oh wait, the tents don't fit. Take them out.
I was really
Yeah.
impressed with that. You know,
It's
Yeah, it was-
community, man. It's all that's all part of it. It's building a cool environment where everyone, you know, is a part of it. Everyone can contribute. Everyone can help another person. I mean, that's what's so cool even about mosh pits. Like a lot of times, even when it gets crazy, they help each other up. You know,
Oh, yeah.
when people are crowd surfing, they help them get to the front. You know, like one of my buddies, he had a big Pikachu backpack. And he's a bigger dude, and he's like, "This is like my 5th time crowd surfing. It's crazy out here, man." and he would just go through, and I'm like, "Oh, that's you again? Okay, yeah." And he just did it, especially from
That's
Memphis.
amazing.
He was up there, so it's just a cool environment, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, you create such an awesome community with this festival, and like we're super stoked and grateful that you asked us back. This is really cool. Like we met a lot of really cool people that we still interact with to this day at the festival last year. So I'm really excited to see, like, we had a few people text us, you know, kind of because we released a little thing out on the Instagram, and somebody was like, "Oh shit, you're gonna be there! I can't believe that. That's awesome." It's like, yeah, cool. Excited to interact again.
Yeah,
I'm actually very excited because you guys have announced a lot more vendors this year,
Definitely.
and food vendors and stuff. And I know that there's a taco place as well. So we're gonna have
the
to.
pizza was great last year.
The pizza was very good last
They
year.
were very good.
We got a few pizzas. Yeah.
And I told
But,
I told the venue this year we're gonna have more food trucks. So if last year was good, this year's gonna be better. You know,
That's awesome.
Well,
So like,
I said,
what,
bigger and better,
more,
bigger
more
and
food
better.
options, more beverage options, more specialty food options too. You know, so yeah, more vendors, like you said. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff this year.
yeah, it seems like so. You got. I think I saw a thing of the little outline of the map of what's gonna happen. You're gonna have like 2 vendor villages, kind of, right?
An inside and outside. Yep.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
It's
excited.
gonna be
I'm
so much
excited
fun.
for this. Esteban, like, thank you again. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for putting this stuff together. It's people like you and like your big thinking that helps create community. And I love that, you know, that you're willing to give especially like he said, you didn't cut any of the small bands, and you're giving new up and coming bands a shot at playing with these big bands on these awesome bills and stuff like that. So thank you.
That's all part of it too, man. Like what you were saying about the video I made yesterday. It's like, I want to see the scene thrive. You know, I don't want it just to limp along. I want to see, I want to see it doing well. I want my son and daughter to be like future rocker, people who go to these shows and, rocking out and having that communal experience, having the feeling of, oh wow, that song really meant something to me, and I felt something in this environment, and something that I can't get elsewhere, and there's something special about live experiences, live music. It takes you to another place, it's awesome. And I want to just shout out all of the team working behind the scenes who are helping make this thing amazing. It's not just me. Yes, I had the dream, I had the vision, but it's a network of people who work hard. We have a PR person, she kills it. We have another guy who helps secure the talent. My wife does a lot of the designs, all the cool graphics that you see. That's my wife. And so like and then all the people on the staff who show up day of, who just make everything happen. That's another part of the community, man. It's building the community, building the network to make a vision happen. So shout out to everybody who helps make this happen. Shout out to you guys for having me on to even talk about this, and all the people who share our posts on socials. Every little bit helps, and you guys all rock. So thank you.
It takes a village, man. It takes a village.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. I have a question that's nothing to do with Capulet Fest.
Go for it.
Because you were talking about being a movie buff.
Sure.
I'm also a fan of movies.
Awesome.
Do you have, if someone was like, what 5 movies should I watch to get to know your personality, your humor, your like what vibes with you? Do you have that? Not your 5 favorite, but 5 that kind of explain you.
Inception is one.
Okay.
Life as a House.
Good movie. Yeah.
I would say a tie between Ace Ventura, either of them, but probably When Nature Calls more so, or the other guys, or Step Brothers. I would say those 3 are kind of tied for me. If you want to understand my sense of humor and the way I think about things.
I got you.
I like a lot of the Judd Apatow stuff too, because he kind of blends, especially like funny people. That's really
another good one. Yeah.
That hits close to home, because it's like, funny people. This is 40. That style where it's like it's really dramatic, but it's really funny. It's kind of like both sides of me, duality. I love superhero movies, so like huge X-Men fan. I wrote Arson, inspired kind of by X-Men and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I would say, something coming of age. Life as a House is a little bit like that, but like, something completely curveball, like In the Land of Women, or something like that, or something from Stephen King, like the Stand By Me type movies, where it's a coming of age story about kind of about growing up and kind of coming into who you are. Anything about writers, because I'm a writer too. So like, that's why In the Land of Women, he's a writer who just suffers a breakup. He goes to live with his grandmother and starts these relationships. So it's kind of coming of age. It's also about becoming a writer and, knowing your worth, and are you validated, and all these things. So I would say that's a good mix. Or read my books.
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna say,
you have a little bit more time.
Where can people find your books?
Just hop on Amazon. Just type in Estevan Vega. It's Estevan with a V, not a B.
Yes. Yeah. Dude. Because I'm the way you described Arson, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm interested in that. I'm in.
Like we're X-Men fans.
Yeah, we're big comic book
fans,
nerds,
and
yeah,
we're right there with you on all that.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So go check out some of his books.
Yeah.
He's not just a great promoter; he's an author as well.
Yes. Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Yeah, I definitely want to check some of that out too.
Yeah. So, dude, thank you again.
I'm a much cooler writer probably than I am in person, because when I write, I can edit what I say. When I speak, that's why I'm always nervous to talk.
You've been great.
You've been pretty great,
Yeah,
man. So yeah.
No, you've been really good.
Yeah, when you speak, you have no edit and rewrite button. There's no respawn. You know, you can't do it again.
Right.
That's true.
That's true. Then you're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, I speak and step on many a landmine, and I'm unable to respawn. I just deal with it.
That happens.
That's right,
it happens.
A lot of friendly fire for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Got to crack some eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah.
Speaking
I got a verbal life
fire,
full of collateral damage.
That's a Nothing More song. Who's playing Capulet?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
yes, it is. So Nothing More headlining, as well as August Burns Red, dude. Skillet. There's like the number of bands, the Saint Sonia, like the number of bands that are there. Letter Kills. Some Bacon's My Podcast alumni.
Some alum.
Yeah, we're gonna get some Letter Kills. Actually, I was just talking to them this week, and they're like, "Yes, we're gonna hang out." And I was like, "Yes, this is great." So yeah, we're very excited for Capulet Fest.
And they're doing a full album play too. They're doing
they're gonna do
that's awesome.
20-year anniversary. So it's gonna be sweet.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was funny because he actually, I ended up through PR company, ended up setting up a thing with them, and I said to him, I was like, "Dude, do you remember the band Letter Kills?" He's like, "Oh, okay, yes."
Yeah,
and
that record was fucking.
It was for their reunion thing.
Damn it! I did so good this whole time. No F-bomb.
Yeah,
and I just did it.
And so we're really excited.
For a good cause. It was for a good cause.
That's true.
Yes.
It was a worthy one.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're really excited to see all the bands there. If you haven't gotten your tickets, if you're in the Northeast, we don't get any good festivals ever.
Yeah.
And then Estevan comes
People
along.
don't come here.
Estevan comes along and started this Capulet Fest, and now there's a good festival around here.
Right. So buy tickets and show up and bring way too many people to this thing so that it makes sense.
So and this way it could keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
And it'll happen more, because if you don't do that, he can't continue to do that.
And it'll be like, this is why there's no things.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right.
So go to CapuletFest.com.
Yeah.
Go get your tickets. Estevan, let everybody know where they can find you, your stuff, everything else, Capulet Entertainment and whatnot, and of course the festival. Besides the site, of course.
Sure. So I'm on socials, the festival page as well, and the Capulet Entertainment page. So if you're on Facebook and Instagram, Capulet ENT, Facebook and Instagram, Capulet Fest. Please like and follow both those pages. That would be awesome. What else? CapuletFest.com is the website. There is all information about all the bands who are playing, the ticket options, info about the fest itself, what you can and can't bring. There's an FAQ page. Our sponsors are all listed there. So that's the place we want to go. Please share our posts, tell people about it. If you're interested in any of my books, hop on Amazon.com and just type in Estevan Vega. And we'll see you at the festival. It's going to be an awesome, awesome, unforgettable weekend. You want to be there, I promise.
Nice. We'll have links for everything down here. And remember, if you saw this show, come talk to us. Tell us you saw this show, and we got something for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jim, it's about that time.
It is about that time.
It's about that time that we ask.
It's true. It's true.
Go ahead.
We have a question that we've had the entire show.
Yeah.
Right. This what this show is about. It's not about. I mean, we all like bacon, but it's not about bacon.
Right.
We just want to define bacon for everybody so that they know when we talk about your life, we're talking about the thing in your life that is the bacon that makes your life a little bit better.
Yeah, a little tastier.
Or a lot better. Or a lot tastier. That thing that could be a side or an appetizer or a main course. Could be any of those things. That thing in your life, that music, that movies, that writing, that so many things. So Estevan, what's your bacon? What would you say?
I would say, oh man, that's tough. It's quite a few things. I would say for me, well, I guess if I were to define it in one word, I would say passion is my bacon.
Passion.
Because out of that one word stems, flows a lot of things, right? So I would say passion for my wife and my family. That's huge, right? I don't want to think of a world without them.
Mhm.
I would say passion for my writing, because that's kind of what led me to fall into the music, because I'm a writer. And so like I fell in love with a lot of bands who had interesting lyrics and the interesting melodies that they would pair with those lyrics. And so like I love a lot of bands that have unique lyrics in addition to a unique sound. And then my passion for music and putting on unforgettable events. So I kind of cheated a little bit. I gave you 3, but under the umbrella of passion, because that passion, out of that passion flows all the things.
I love that.
I like it.
I like it.
It's not a cheat. I mean, we
Yeah.
asked you for 5 movies and you gave us like 12, so it's totally works.
There's
on
so
brand.
many good ones. Hard.
It's
We don't-
true.
so
You're
many-
absolutely right.
We're not rule followers
Yeah, we
here.
don't-
You get that by now. So
we
no,
learn
that's awesome.
the rules so that we can break the rules.
I love it.
That's the only way.
I love
It's the only way.
it. So guys, thank you for joining us. Go get your tickets, and always remember to ask yourself.
Yeah, ask yourselves at home, if you're listening to this, what is it for you? What is that thing for you that makes your life a little bit better? What is that thing for you that brings some positivity? And what is your passion? What is your love? What is your life? What is your topping, your side, your main course? What's the question? Estevan, do you know?
Bacon, brother. What is your bacon?
Yes.
Yes. Estevan, Capulet Entertainment.
I guess that wasn't a D&D.
It wasn't a D&D. We flipped the script there.
We did.
We just did the regular format. And that's okay, because
all
Estevan's a cool dude.
Yeah,
And I liked hanging out with him.
me too. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was
And
a good time.
so it was a great episode. I'm excited for Capulet Fest.
Me
2
too.
years in a row. It's a fun time. So if you're in the Northeast, if you're in driving distance, I can tell you the hotels are not that expensive. They also have camping options there.
Yeah.
So there's options for everything.
Come hang out, see some
Come
bands.
hang out, see
Come
some
say hi to
bands.
us.
Say hi. Say hi to Estevan, because he's working hard.
He'll be
He's
running
working his
around.
ass off.
He'll be running around with this look on his face.
Might be on a golf cart. He was on a golf cart last year a lot.
Yeah, golf cart a lot.
Yeah, maybe next year we come up with a writer and be like, can we just get a golf cart?
We need a golf cart. Yeah.
I mean, it
We
would,
say anytime you're on the golf cart, one of us is legally able to jump on.
yeah, okay, yeah, I like
Right?
that.
It's a small place. We can get wherever we're going, no matter where the golf cart's going.
Yeah.
It's either going to take us towards or away from what our goal is.
Yeah.
Either way is fine.
Exactly. So, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out.
Always a good time.
Always a good time.
We appreciate you.
Our
Thanks to our
patrons,
patrons. Yep.
thank you for joining us early and ad-free.
Mhm.
They get this episode before you do.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on a Spotify or whatever it is that you may.
Hey, whatever you're
Listen.
listening to it on, give us whatever their equivalent to a thumbs up is.
5-star review if you
5-star
think
review, if you
we
got it.
earned it. And if we didn't earn it, tell us why we didn't earn it.
Yeah, give us a 1-star review and go, this is why.
And don't just say the show is balls, because that's invalid.
My favorite comment that I saw recently was, no one cares. And I
Right.
was like, thank you. Thank you for your insightful and wonderful comment.
Yeah.
We appreciate you and the time that you took to do that comment. What was the name on it? I didn't commit it to memory because you don't matter at all. But thank you, everyone who does watch and does listen and does interact with us. We try and interact back with every single person. So, send us a comment. Use the hashtag What's Your Bacon. Use the hashtag Bacon is my pod. If you want, you can join us on Patreon, and you can become a member of our BIMP squad, which helps keeps this show rolling. And you get a bunch more stuff, including those early episodes, live episodes, where you get to hang out with us while we're doing discussions and drinks.
Yep.
Sometimes we've done some watch-alongs. We've done cooking shows. We've eaten horrible things. It's endless.
It is endless.
Early and often music. So yeah, go over to patreon.com/baconismypod.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It is bacon. Patreon.com/bacon is my podcast. Also,
hasn't changed it on me yet. So.
No, I haven't changed it on you yet. Our main hub, though, is baconismypodcast.com. Over there, you can get to pretty much anything. You can get to our music. You can get to all episodes. You can get to our Patreon. You can get to all of our awesome sponsors. We give you the best deals that are humanly possible. We've got some new sponsors signing on pretty soon, which I'm pretty stoked about. We're going to do some reviews on some beer jelly.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And for extra stuff. He is me, my own self, Mike, on all the socials. I am Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. His band is Something Heavy. I am in a band called Craving Strange. Find us, find our bands, all that kind of stuff. And just remember, enjoy the rest of your day. And always ask yourself,
what's your bacon?
Peace out.